Music. Something every single person on the planet somehow manages to interact with and be inspired by in their own way. We don't go a day without music appearing somewhere in our lives. And there's something about music that moves us profoundly. Here at Power Thoughts Productions, we conducted a survey in which 77% of respondents said that they had a mental health condition, and 90% of respondents said that they considered music to be a way of releasing negative emotions. According to the Welsh Government, there were 9,256 hospital admissions across Wales due to ill mental health between 2015 and 2016. If music can aid those with mental health experience, how can we encourage it as a respite?
Radio Cardiff.
We spoke to Jeremy Rees at Radio Cardiff, a non-profit station formed by Volunteer Community Services.
So VCS is a social action charity. It's been running in Cardiff since 1964. It's based around volunteering. Volunteers from the local community who use the radio airwaves to share information and to share their passion for music. We have a range of programs that reflect the multicultural community of urban Cardiff. So we have a particular remit to play music and to give information to communities who are not well served by national, commercial or BBC radio.
Open access courses in Cardiff and the Vale of Glamorgan. No referral needed for these. Number one, stress control. You've heard us talk about this course before, okay? This course has been designed to help people learn to control their stress or anxiety better. You will learn new stress control tools as the course goes on and how to put them together. At the end of the course, you'll have a toolkit that will enable you to put them into practice.
Wellwaves is a weekly radio programme presented by and directed to people who've got a lived experience of mental health issues. Pave the Way is our flagship mental health programme, and since Pave the Way has been up and running, we have looked at the best way of communicating about positive attitudes to mental health. And as we're here with the radio show has grown from that. It started off as a podcast, actually, a group of people who were interested in telling the story of how mental health services in the city of Cardiff work, and also sharing some of their own personal experiences. And that evolved into the radio show.
Isn't it amazing how music can motivate you, uplift you, you can resonate with it, and you understand that we're all going through this thing together that we call life. And
it's scary to talk about though sometimes, you know.
Oh, it's deep stuff. I know. It's not your average. I mean, you need a bit of confidence, don't you, to be open about your journey and your feelings and how your perspective of where you're coming from and where you're going. It's a bit deep for a lot of people, isn't it?
It invites people who have themselves an experience with mental health that they can share, of how they've overcome challenges and used creative means to do so. And it's also a platform for people to discuss issues around mental health and mental well-being, and gives a platform to share information about services in Cardiff that are tailored for people with a mental health need.
One of the biggest things that has made me come to grips with my insecurities and my anxiety is music. Music was there for me when I needed it the most. It all started when I was 15 and I got asked to go to a gig. It wasn't the most mainstream music, and a lot of people in my school judged me for listening to it. But when I did, I felt like I belonged to something. Like someone finally understood how I felt. I changed my style and was bullied further, but I didn't care. This music gave me a purpose. I still had insecurities to face, but I had something to help. Music kept me going even through the hardest situations. It gave me the strength to carry on. there was always that voice inside my head telling me I can't do it. I know I have people that are there for me, but I still struggle. It's hard to face these fears and to believe in myself. Yes, my insecurities are always going to be there, but I'm finding the strength to keep going and to face them. I'm not going to be one of those people that say, music saved me, but it did give me the strength to not give up and believe in myself. I'm trying to not let my insecurities stop me from doing what I love. And one way of doing that is via music.
We headed to the Newport campus of the University of South Wales to talk to music therapy lecturer Liz Coombs. Liz teaches students who have experience with music to work with clients. The aim is to develop a form of counselling for those with mental health experience which allows clients to use music as a creative output. We asked her, how does music affect people?
Well, I think it can be a huge support for people. I mean, sometimes I like to think about music as really a spectrum of what it can do for people. So we all know that music can really affect our mood, it can make us feel good, it can, if we're feeling miserable, it can change our mood. So I think people instinctively use music in that way. But then as perhaps people's difficulties become more profound and more challenging, and whether that could be because of mental health difficulties or it could be because of a condition that they have, I'd actually like to see more projects that are about people actually creating their own music, maybe through songwriting or performance, open mic nights in a setting that felt really safe and comfortable for people. So maybe something that's really project-led, because I think the whole, music therapy as it's practiced in the UK is very much about creating music with a therapist. It's not so much about listening to or receiving music, it's very interactive. And I think that idea of creating music with somebody who understands the needs and difficulties of the client or the group of clients, it can be a massive, massive boost. And also that whole idea of working in a group where other people have got the same issues or can understand where you're coming from is incredibly supportive and can really help people towards recovery or living with the issues that they have. I think I'd be thinking of a piece that's incredibly important to me by an American composer called Steve Reich. It's a minimalist piece and it's called Tehillim. It's quite a long piece, a whole album, and it's a piece that when I was studying music, it became very fashionable amongst my peer group. This is a sort of thing that happens, I guess, when you study music. And it just reminds me of that time when I was learning a lot about music and felt like I had a really strong friend base, something to fall back on. And as I'm talking to you about it now, I can still see the cover of that album, which is a very striking, beautiful blue with gold lettering on it. And it kind of gives me a bit of a warm feeling inside, actually. Oh no, I wouldn't say it's limited to a genre. I mean, that's one of the challenges of being a music therapist is, for me, coming from a classical background, I've had to broaden my palette of what I can offer, so it can be anything, music from different cultures, rap, hip hop, folk, country, because what's really important for us is that it's not that we have our musical agenda, we have to go with what the client wants and what the client needs. So no, it most definitely isn't, and that's one of the most challenging things and exciting things about being a music therapist, actually.
There's so many bands I love that are perfect for all moods. If I'm happy and I listen to an album I love, it makes me even happier. If I'm sad and I don't feel very sociable, I can put my headphones in and listen to something more chilled out.
It's a distraction. Letting the music envelop your mind and take it elsewhere helps you focus on that, rather than your own sadness.
It is a lot easier to express what you're feeling through music than to voice it yourself.
It calms me down when I feel stressed. It lifts me higher when I feel good. It captures what I want to say in an abstract way that changes every time I listen to it.
It helps to vent, to think, and to consolidate.